This is Michael Woodward, and this is Season 2, Episode 14 of the Jumble Think Podcast.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Jumble Think Podcast. We explore the ideas and dreams behind some of the leading entrepreneurs from around the world. Along the way, we will give you some tips and ideas of how you can chase your own big ideas and dreams and change the world around you. Our guest on today's episode is Romacio Fulcher. More about Romacio in a moment. Our guest on Thursday's episode is Milana Lashinsky. Here is a little sneak preview of Thursday's episode.
My name is Milana Lashinsky, and I am the founder and the owner of SimplicityCircle.com. Simplicity Circle is a company that focuses on simplicity entrepreneurship, which says that growing a business and scaling your business should be as simple as possible. And you can grow and scale without the cost of your independence, peace of mind, health, wellness, relationships, your sleep, and all the things that might be affected by being an entrepreneur. The idea for Simplicity Circle came to me when I left another company, which was a business partnership, a little over a year ago, where I started feeling like it was time to move on, and everything felt so uninspiring to me and so complex. And I saw the complexity of everything that was happening in our industry, in the space of coaches, authors, speakers, experts. And I saw that complexity for what it was, because the online marketing, it's been over 2 decades. There's so many tools and methods out there that my brain, my whole being started seeking more simplicity. And I discovered that I am not alone. Significance and purpose are extremely important to me, but I didn't realize that until I ended up leaving the company that I mentioned earlier. And that is because the company was producing over $1 million in sales. And yet I woke up every day in the last few months asking myself, is this all there is? And clearly I was missing something. And when I left and realized that I need more, that money is great, but that is so not enough, that making $1 million does not necessarily feel like being a millionaire, suddenly winning a lottery. And I started looking for something else. And I am grateful for having music, which is my background. As a classically trained music teacher, I came from Soviet Union over 25 years ago. I came back to it. And I realized that that is something that was so important to me, and yet I stopped doing it. And I'm grateful to have that piece of my life still bring meaning and significance into my life. In the darkest moment, music absolutely saves me.
Thursday's episode is going to be a lot of fun, so make sure to check that out. Now let's jump into today's episode with Romacio Fulcher. Hey there, welcome to the Jumble Think Podcast. My name is Michael Woodward. I am your host and super excited that you've joined us for today's episode. It's going to be a lot of fun. Our guest is Romacio Fulcher. We're going to jump into that in a moment. But first, I want to make sure that you knew how you can connect with Jumble Think. There are so many ways you can do it. Swing on over to jumblethink.com. You can drop us a note on the contact form, or you'll find links to our social channels like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. You can also find the podcast on all of your favorite places to listen to podcasts: Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and now Spotify. Make sure you check out those links. Subscribe or follow us so that you never miss out on any exciting things happening at Jumble Think. Now let's find out a little bit about Romacio Fulcher.
My name is Romacio Fulcher. I am the CEO of my corporation, and that is IoT International. It stands for It's Our Time. And my company is a global network marketing technology-based company where we market the latest and greatest in technology. What we do is we are a home-based business, network marketing-based company that markets the latest and greatest in technology. We are the world's very first wearable device. So it's a wearable technology. It's a wearable device. It's kind of like a Apple Watch or a Fitbit, but on steroids, that monitors all of your health vital signs in real time. I'm talking about your heart rate, your blood pressure, your breath rate, your energy levels, your mood. It allows you to remotely monitor 20 different people that you care for right from your phone. It does a live EKG on your phone. It also has a panic button that if you were to be in danger, you push it and it sends a text message to the guardian of exactly where you're located, as well as a GPS map. We also then have our very own app store, where we're one of the few smart bands that have our very own health and fitness app store, where we have hundreds and hundreds of apps being developed. We are the world's very first wearable device that now allows you to monitor your blood sugar levels non-invasively without having to prick your finger. So this is a game changer. This is huge what we're talking about. When did I knew from a very young age that I wanted to be successful. I never knew how big the success was going to be, Michael. I just knew that I just really wanted to be successful. And so for me, what I did, the path that I chose was really just finding someone that was literally already successful. And I would ask them, I would ask them basically to show me the ropes, show me how to do it. I don't come from money. I grew up in Oakland, California, and nobody in my family is financially successful. But I always knew that I wanted to be successful. I just didn't know how to do it. But the fact that I only had one life to live, I felt like, you might as well make the best of it. And so what I did is I always believed in learning from other people. Find somebody that's already done what it is that you want to do, and then allow them to teach you how to do it. Success to me is just about making progress. That's all it's about. If you give a guy $1, he's only temporarily happy. It's not before long that he wants $2. And so the point is it's just the continuum of making progress in your spiritual life, your financial life, your relationships, your parenting, whatever it is. It's just the continuum of making progress is what I have found that keeps the human spirit alive. And so for me, being involved in a technology network marketing based company was something, Michael, that I never predicted. And so literally for me, my story is fairly simple. Last year, I was basically broke, 39 years old, and I was virtually broke. I was living check to check. And I'm the type of person that I believe that if something is broken, you should fix it. If something is broke, you should fix it. And so I didn't like the story. I didn't like, being broke. I didn't like that. I knew that I was worth more than that. I knew that this was not going to be the way that my life was going to end. And so I also knew that, the greatest opportunities today for average people like myself to really live above average means is from the industry of the home-based business industry, network marketing. The way that I find fulfillment and purpose is I'm a very purposeful man. And the thing I love about this profession of network marketing, it's not about me, it's about we. Now, this is what I love. You've got to help other people make money. Okay. And as you help them succeed and make money, you make more. So the more you help them, the more you make. And so I love that model whereby I have to help people. And the reason why that really, I love it is because you asked me about my purpose. My purpose in life is to serve humanity with love, compassion, and deliverance. My purpose in life is to serve. I truly believe, Michael, that service is the rent that we pay for the space that we occupy on earth. So again, I say my purpose is to serve humanity, but not just serve them, but serve them from a place of love, where everything that I do, you got to do it in a spirit of love. Number two, very compassionate. In other words, a sense of empathy, understanding that, listen, we've all gone through difficult times. We've all gone through, all 4 seasons of life, summer, winter, spring, and fall. We've all gone through some type of, something in this lifetime. So a sense of compassion. But then the third part of my purpose is the part that I love the most, deliverance. And simply means I'm the guy that talk is cheap, Michael. A lot of people talk a good game. They run their mouth all day long and they do nothing. I'm not one of those guys. I just told you a year ago I was broke. I fixed that broke situation in 12 months. Okay. And I just told you how I've done it. And the reason why I'm here on your show is to be able to help 75 different people around the world. I'm going to help them right now earn an extra $10,000 a week here in 2018. It's called Project 75. And so all they need to do is raise their hand if you'd like to learn more about who I am and what we're doing and how I can help you. Doesn't matter where you live in the world. All you've got to do is literally swing on over there to workwithromacio.com, enter in your information, and myself or my assistant will get back with you within 24 hours. And so my purpose, again, is literally to serve humanity from a place of love, compassion, and deliverance. My challenge is having more and more patience. They say that true wealth will only reveal itself to those that are patient enough to teach and train others. And so one of the things that I pray for on a consistent basis is I always say, God, give me the ability to understand more and more people's perspective. Give me the ability to have more and more patience, because I believe patience is something that I'm always trying to have more of, because it's patience that will really allow me to really make the size of difference that I really want to make.
We will be right back with the interview portion of our conversation with Romacio Fulcher. But first, we wanted to let you know about some resources you can find over at jumblethink.com. On the resources page, you'll find some books that have helped us and people we've worked with chase their own big ideas and dreams and create the world around them. These books will help give you a roadmap for the future of how you can chase that big idea and create the idea and dreams you have. So make sure to swing on over to jumblethink.com, check out the resources page, and find some amazing resources to help you on your journey. Now let's jump into our conversation, the interview with Romacio Fulcher. I am super excited about today's guest. His name is Romacio, and he is shaking it up in the world of business and doing some things to really help others. It's super fun to have you on the podcast. Thanks for taking time out to be on today.
Oh, my pleasure, Michael. Thanks for having me.
You have an interesting story, and I want to go a little bit further back. I've heard a little bit of your story from going from college dropout to self-made millionaire in real estate, and now you're really shaking it up in the world of multi-level marketing and networking businesses. Tell us a little bit about your backstory and going from very little to seeing that breakthrough financially.
The backstory for me, Michael, it's seriously, man, I come from Oakland, California. Wonderful parents, mom and dad, 4 brothers, middle-class family. Nobody's rich in my family at all. So I never had goals, believe it or not, to become rich. That was never a goal of mine. Really, I just wanted to make something of my life. I remember when I dropped out of college, I told my parents that I would be successful, be it if it was a garbage man or whatever. I was going to be the best, because they had worked so hard to raise us children the best way that they could. And I didn't want to make shame of the last name of our family. I wanted to make something of my life. And so now the irony is I had no idea what I was going to do. I just knew that I was determined to be successful. So what that means is, as long as it was legal, moral, and ethical, I pretty much was game for it, right?
Yeah.
And so I dropped out of college, and then I got started in mortgage and real estate. Again, I met a mentor, a gentleman that I met that, I'm Black, he was white. I always let everybody know that, because oftentimes some of the people that have the answers to what you're looking for, they may not necessarily look like you. They don't sound like you. They don't think like you. There's a difference between you and them, and you need to learn to appreciate that difference. Yeah. And so I met this gentleman. He hired me as his assistant on commissions only in the real estate and mortgage business. So no salary, all commissions. But I was excited because he was shepherding me. He was teaching me the tricks of the trade, the profession, and so forth. And so, as fate would have it, with hard work, dedication, 4 or 5 years later, I ended up owning my own mortgage and real estate company.
Oh,
And
crazy.
that was a dream come true, to be able to go from the bottom to one day owning my own. That was pretty exciting. And the next thing you know, I just continued with hard work and so forth. And by the time I was 25, I had become a multimillionaire. Now, this is really, really a huge deal, because it's not because I made a lot of money. That's not the big deal. The big deal, in my opinion, is how I did it. I want everyone to understand that literally, I believe mentorship is the most valuable asset that you could ever have towards becoming successful. After you've made the decision that you are going to be successful, once you've really, dropped the gavel and have said, I'm going to be successful, the next thing you need a mentor, someone that's already done what it is you want to do. So that way you're not banging your head against the wall trying to figure it out. And so that's what I did. And I had great success for 10 years in the mortgage and real estate business, 12 years. And then about 10 years ago is when I got introduced to network marketing, or the home-based business profession. And it was a very wealthy friend of mine who had introduced me to this business. And I was enamored by how successful my friend already was. But I was like, why would you ever get involved in one of these things? And that's when he educated me on the fact that, Romacio, he said, look, you're ignorant. You just don't know what you just don't know. Shut up and listen. And so I literally began to open my mind, and he began to share with me things that just made a lot of sense, like residual income, leverage, the key to, leverage is the key to wealth. It's also the key to freedom. So he just began to share with me some simple, profound concepts that allowed me to really go from being very negative and skeptical about this to being very open about this. And it made a lot of sense. I love people that can document what they're saying, because I believe that, documentation, far outperforms conversation, And so my wealthy friend was able to show me lots of documentation upon the size of the industry, the economies of scales, how this really works. He really broke it down for me really simply. And I was like, wow, that I had no idea. And he says, most people don't know that. They're just very ignorant. And so, and long story short, so I got involved, but I said, hey, listen, if I'm going to get involved in this thing on a part-time basis, I've got to have a mentor. And so this is when I found the right mentor here in network marketing, somebody who was already a proven multi-millionaire many times over. And I got involved, Michael, and within my very first 45 days working from home, with just $1,000 to get involved, I made $55,000 part-time while still being a real estate broker and so forth. And so you fast forward now 10 years later, I'm now an ambassador of the profession, made a lot of money in this profession, but most importantly, I've helped a lot of people. But with all that to be said, a year ago, 39 years old, I was broke. I had an issue with spending money. Budgeting and spending was just my Achilles heel. I knew how to make money, but I wasn't great. And I don't blame the Republicans nor the Democrats. It was my fault, I wasn't great at saving and investing money. I just was not. That was not something I was really good at.
And you hear all the time, there's a difference between building money and building wealth, or making money and building wealth. And
it's two different things, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how that goes from being something you spend into an asset that you can leverage to be so much more than just money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me just say, you said it right, Michael. Earning money is one set of skills. And if you're broke, you need to, first of all, learn to do that. Okay? But then the second one is a little bit harder than the first. Learning how to keep, protect, and grow your money is a whole nother set of skills. And, I had proven throughout the years that I was really good at making money. But like I said, keeping, protecting, and growing, I had to be honest, that was not something that I was great at, but I was determined, guess what? I'm going to become great at it. And how am I going to do that? I'm going to go do the same recipe that I tell everybody. Go find a mentor, someone that already is wealthy. And I have two of them that are very, very wealthy from network marketing. They're both worth over $100 million individually in
Yeah.
network marketing. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, obviously, and so now I went out in the last 12 months and I fixed that broke situation. Now
Yeah.
I was able to, like I said, I made over 2.3 million, paid my taxes, but saved $1 million. And this is something, because I was determined. Now I'm 40. I wanted to make sure that, hey, listen, that I was, now starting to make some progress towards saving and investing money, not just making it, but saving it and investing it. So I can't say that I'm, like I know everything about investing. I don't, but I can say I'm better now than I was before.
Yeah. And that's part of the way you move forward is, you're not going to get perfection out the gate. You're going to have incremental improvement, and you're going to grow, and you're going to learn, and you're going to evolve. You mentioned the 3 steps to being successful, in your opinion, are identify the right mentor, hit the right timing, and work hard. I agree with those. I think they're awesome. But so often there is a difference between finding a mentor and finding the right mentor. Talk to us a little bit about finding that right mentor versus just finding a mentor.
Oh, I love that you went in with I love the fact that you went in like a surgeon. You're very precise on that question. Yes, there's a huge difference between finding a mentor and the right mentor. Let's define the right mentor. First of all, if a mentor is going to ask you to do things that are illegal, unethical, and immoral, I would question that. That's not a mentor that I choose to follow. Number one. Yeah. So we're talking character. Number two, a mentor always has to be proven, meaning they have to have the results of what it is you're asking them to mentor for. For example, my mentor, he's worth, in terms of saving and investing money, he's literally worth over 100 million. He started off broke, and now today he's over 100 million strong in network marketing, liquid. So he has the results. So this is a big one. You've got to make sure you choose someone that's already doing or have done what it is you want to do. Character first, production second. Character first, production second. Okay? Now,
for sure.
The other thing I want to let people know is 9 out of 10 times, the mentor that you choose is going to sound differently than you. Yeah. They're going to certainly think differently than you. So you can't be intimidated about the fact that they're different than you. That's why they are where they are and you are not yet. You're looking to bridge or close the gap between you and them. Right. There's a difference, right? And so when their difference comes forth, don't run and hide. That's the very thing you need.
Often where you want to go, you got to find someone that's not like you, because they've walked that path. They've gotten the scars, they've gotten the wounds, and they've gotten to where they are by being different than what everyone else is doing or how everyone else thinks.
Right. That's it. There's a law called the law of difference. The reward for the reward for difference is much greater than the reward for sameness. Yeah. So in other words, I always tell people, you want to surround yourself with people that are different than you, not exactly like you.
Love it.
But mentorship is everything. Mentorship is wisdom without waiting.
Okay. I like that. That's really cool. Wisdom without waiting. That's a powerful statement, because, so often we think we can do it better than somebody else. And we learn along the way that if we would have just taken their wisdom and grown from it, we would have saved a lot of pain and a lot of suffering and a lot of time.
Most people, Michael, think that asking for help is a weakness, but rather it's intelligence.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the thing is often we face trials and situations that by being isolated and by doing it on our own, we're actually going into a darker place than we need to be. I mean, it's in that place of community, in that place of mentoring, that we can really begin to thrive and get past our own hangups. I think you're on to that. I think that's a great first step. You mentioned the second step is right timing. That one seems a little bit trickier than finding the right mentor.
It is. And notice why I said, Michael, it's number 2, because most people have no idea of how to spot timing, but you can focus on spotting the right mentor. And as a result of finding the right mentor, the mentor has a keen eye of how to identify timing, hence why they are where they are in life.
Right.
So when you find the right mentor, you don't have to worry about the timing. The mentor knows how to do that.
Right.
The third thing is working hard. Now, these are two things that are within your control. Number one is you finding the right mentor. And then like I said, number three is you working hard. When you find the right mentor, you got to understand that the mentor has no obligation to mentor you. You have to engage the mentor. So let me explain how you do that. You ask them one question. Hey, listen, what would I have to do, ma'am, sir, to make it worth your while for you to teach me what it is you know? What would I have to do to make it worth your while to teach me what it is you know? And whatever they tell you to do, as long as it's legal, moral, and ethical, I suggest you do it.
I want to pivot here a little bit. You mentioned that you're doing network marketing, you're doing MLM type stuff, multi-level marketing. There is a stigma around that, whether it's, you hear all those different MLMs, the telephone units, the magical drinks, all of that kind of stuff. Can you break down the truth and lies around MLM and give us a real good look into the truth behind MLMs?
MLM has been around now for almost a little over 80 years.
Right.
It like any other profession, you look at real estate, you say, what's the stigma there? You look at starting your own business. What's the stigma there? To be honest with you, every profession has a stigma to it. You look at being an attorney, there's a stigma there. The thing about network marketing that I think most people don't understand is that all these other professions that I talked about, both real estate, both starting your own business, they cost an enormous amount of money typically for people to start up and get involved in that profession. You follow me? And so you hear less of a stigma there. Why? Watch this. Because the cost of entry to get involved is much greater there than it is in network marketing. Now, watch what I say next. In network marketing, it's funny how the government will say that 70 to 80% of people in network marketing don't make any money. But here's the misnomer. In network marketing, if you decide to buy the product or service that is being sold at the wholesale price, which most people would much rather pay wholesale for something as opposed to retail, in network marketing, the government says we have to include that person as a distributor. So watch this. Okay. You now have all of these millions of people. By the way, there's 110 million people involved, quote unquote, in network marketing, but you have the vast 80% of these people that are involved. They just wanted to buy the product at wholesale, and they're sitting there talking about, what do you mean I'm involved in network marketing? I never intended on being a distributor. I just wanted the product at the wholesale price.
Right.
So there you have this skewed data where it looks like these huge amount of people are failing and not having any success at all. And those people are looking at you saying, wait a minute, we never intended on doing anything to begin with.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying two things. One, what I'm saying is the low cost of entry is always going to yield a much greater nasty stigmatism to anything, because hell, I had to pay less than $1,000 to get involved. Of course, I'm really not going to treat this like as if I paid 10, 20, 30,000 to start some type of a business, right?
Right.
That's number one. Number two, what I'm saying to the stigma that you're talking about is that over 80% of the people just wanted to buy the product at wholesale. They never intended to distribute.
Yeah.
So when you put both of those together, this is why you've got the stigmatism that you're referring to. Now, let me educate you. On the last 3 to 5 years, this stigmatism has become more and more faint. We are seeing, here's the facts. You've got more people today that are 6-figure and 7-figure income earners in network marketing than any other profession in the world. That's a fact.
Wow.
You now have the network marketing profession, as of the last 12 months, did over $180 billion of cumulative revenue worldwide. And that's bigger than the NFL, the Major League Baseball. That's bigger than the entertainment industry. I mean, we're talking, this is a gigantic profession now.
Yeah.
So what's happening now is you've got more people succeeding today in network marketing than ever before.
Crazy.
And it's increasingly growing.
Yeah.
And so what used to be dark is now all of a sudden becoming the light.
It's great insight. And I think so many people have had bad experiences on what it is and what it looks like. So it's really good to hear someone that's in it share a little bit of their insight so that we can better understand it. Again, I'm going to pivot a little bit. You say that there is a golden question to ask in networking. What is that golden question?
The golden question to ask in network marketing?
Yeah.
The golden question I would ask is if I found someone that had what it is that I wanted, someone that was already at the place in time of where I want to be. For example, like I'm sitting here doing this interview and a friend of mine just recently walked in. I'm in my hotel here in Los Angeles. And remember I told you a year ago, I basically was virtually broke. I was living check to check.
Yeah.
And I told you I was going to fix that situation, right?
Yeah.
Well, the friend of mine that just walked in, he's, and I won't say his name, but he's also in network marketing, been here for almost 20 years. And he's extremely wealthy. He's done very well with his money. He's saved and invested a lot of money.
Yeah.
He's done really well. And so the golden question I always teach people to ask is, hey, listen, what could I do to make it worth your while for you to teach me what it is you know? That's the number one question anytime you find a mentor in any area of life that you want to get better at. Yeah. Whatever it is, hey, what do I got to do to make it worth your while? See, nobody owes you anything, but you can make it worth it for them to do so. Yeah. Sometimes that might be you're sending them referrals. Who knows? Everybody's different. Yeah. But that's what I call the golden question. Okay. What can I do to make it worth your while? And so here's what I'll say. All your listeners that are listening to this interview, listen, swing on over there to workwithromacio.com, workwithromacio.com. There's a little short video, but enter in your name, email, cell phone. Myself or my assistant get back to you within 24 hours. Because what we're really most excited about is helping 75 people here in 2018 make 10 grand a week ASAP. You know, I made 16,000 my first week, so I know we can teach you how to make 10 grand a week ASAP. Okay, 75 different people that want to learn more about what I'm doing, what this is, and how we can help you. All you got to do is swing on over there. Once again, work with Romacio. It's Romacio, Romacio.com. Workwithromacio.com. And I would love to be of service to you and your listeners any way that I can.
Before we dive into our rapid fire questions, can you take a moment and share a little bit about the product? You talked about this cool watch and everything like that at the top of the interview.
Oh, sure. You want me to talk about the product? Yeah, absolutely.
No
problem.
Yeah.
You know, our company, World Global Network, a 6-year-old publicly traded company, like I said, that's global. We are the world's very first wearable device that it's basically like an Apple Watch or a Fitbit on steroids, but it monitors all of your health and vital signs in real time. So I'm talking about your heart rate, your blood pressure, your breath rate, your energy levels, your mood. It does an EKG, allows you to remotely monitor up to 20 people that you love and care for. We then have our very own app store, which we're one of the few smart bands in the world that has an app store where we got hundreds and hundreds of apps that you can download. That they're all health and fitness related apps. And anytime somebody downloads an app, you're able to earn a small percentage of that. That's huge. And then here recently, as of 2 weeks ago, we just came out of the Consumer Electronics Show. We were the only network marketing company in the world to be featured at CES. First time in history.
Oh, crazy.
And we actually now, this device can monitor your blood sugar levels non-invasively without pricking your finger. So we're the world's very first wearable to now monitor. And again, this is a huge conversation. You're talking over 1 billion people have sugar-related issues, whether it's health-related or medical-related, you know? And to be able to monitor that non-invasively, that's huge. And so we're just really, really over the moon excited. And that's why we know we're going to help a ton of people be able to generate either extra income, career change income, or whatever. And we're really excited. And the best part that we love is we don't do home meetings. Our system here, everything is online. Wow. We don't do home meetings at all. Wow. Everything is simply by sending out text messages. And so that's why we're growing so fast in what we're doing. So
before we go to the rapid fire questions, you've already mentioned how people can find your website and everything like that. How else can they connect with you?
The best way to connect with me is, again, going to that website, typing in your name, your cell phone, and your email. And then, like I said, within 24 hours, I will get a hold of you. I don't want to give out my cell phone on the air here, but once they go to the site and type in the information, I will make sure either myself or my assistant, we will call you within 24 hours to actually talk to you to see if you qualify for Project 75. And at that point, we can begin to build a relationship and see where it takes us.
We'll be right back with Moss for our rapid fire questions. We are super excited to be launching idea camps coming up in the next couple of weeks. We want you to be involved with it. All you have to do is swing on over to jumblethink.com/ideacamp. That's jumblethink.com/ideacamp. And when you're there, you type in your email address and answer this question. What is your number one question you have about chasing your dreams and ideas? For doing that, today you will get our free How Do I Know That I Found My Dream guide. So make sure to swing on over to jumblethink.com/ideacamp. Again, that's jumblethink.com/ideacamp to check out virtual idea camps and get involved. Now let's jump into rapid fire questions with Romacio Fulcher. We're back with Moss for our rapid fire questions. Moss, are you ready for rapid fire questions?
Yeah, I'm ready. Go ahead. Let's do it.
All right. What is one tip you'd give someone with a big idea and dream and they don't know where to start?
The tip I would give to someone with a big idea and dream and they don't want to start, number one, always have a mentor.
Yeah.
Always find somebody who's a mentor, somebody who's an expert in that chosen field.
That's good. That's good. What's one change you'd like to see in the world right now?
The change I would love to see in the world, I would love to see taught in all colleges. I said all, both junior colleges and both junior colleges and universities. I'd love to see entrepreneurialism being taught. I want to see more people learning how to be an entrepreneur. And the reason why I say that is entrepreneurs run the world today.
Yeah.
The conversation about being an entrepreneur needs to be louder than it's ever been before.
Yeah. What do you want your legacy to be?
What do I want my legacy to be? I want to be known for two words. Number one, being a fighter, and number two, being known for being successful.
That's cool.
And success is not just monetary. It's just no matter where I found myself, he never stopped swinging the bat. He always was a fighter.
Yeah,
that's how I want to be known.
That's so good. That's so good. Where do you find inspiration?
I find inspiration, believe it or not, spiritually.
Yeah.
I don't like to cast my spiritual views, but I'm a Christian, but I believe in the Bible. I believe in God. I do. And I believe the word Bible stands for basic instructions before leaving earth. It's kind of funny to me to know and to think that someone else has already, created a set of instructions that we can defer to if we ever get confused, lost, or whatever. It's kind of like if you're having problems with math, you go to a math book. Problems with history, you go to a history book. But what about if I'm having problems with my life?
Yeah.
Where do I go?
Yeah.
Where's the handbook, the hand manual, on how to do that. And so I actually love to go through and read and learn all the different stories within the Bible. And ironically enough, one of the things you find is that every prophet in the Bible, they all had a mentor.
Yeah.
Man, it's interesting.
Yeah. It's really interesting as we've talked throughout the episode. And I was going to ask you about this a little earlier and just completely missed it. But integrity and honesty and doing things the right way and ultimately your faith just seem to be such a significant foundation for your journey into entrepreneurship. Can you share maybe a little bit about how faith has given a foundation for how you view the world and how you operate as an entrepreneur?
Absolutely. That's a great question. When you talk about faith, it's a big conversation.
Yeah,
I tell everybody, your whole life's journey is about one word: believing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. Belief is like a muscle. It only grows by reason of use.
Yeah.
Reason of use. And there's different levels of faith, but faith is none of us know everything.
Right.
None of us know everything.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we've all heard the whole deal about, this is we are spiritual beings having a human experience versus us being humans beings having a spiritual experience. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. And so when you start really, inserting the faith element into the conversation, I truly believe that the stronger your faith is, the stronger your life will ultimately be. I really believe that. And so faith is a muscle. It's something that you have to work on day by day. You got to grow that thing. And it all starts with, yes, your affirmations, but it doesn't end with affirmations. But I do believe that there is a significant amount of power in your words because if you look at the word world and you drop the L, you have word. It was the word that brought all of this into existence, in my opinion. Yeah. And so this is really powerful that many people don't understand how powerful their tongue is. You ever read a book called Hung by the Tongue? Your tongue, everything, there's so much power in your tongue. You see, you are what you are because you said you was going to be it. You don't have what you don't have because you said you won't have it. You see, so again, what you begin to speak is a reflection of what you think. And what you think leads to what you speak. What you speak leads to what you do. And what you do creates your reality. So when you start to really talk about your philosophies upon faith, that's everything. And if I could ever give anybody anything, that would be the greatest gift of all. And that would be to increase the size of your faith. Yeah. Again, if I had more time, we can go into a billion different ways on how to do that. But increasing the size of your faith is going to dramatically impact your life. Dramatically. Yeah. The size of results that you get from there will be just, it will be so far skewed in terms of how big your results will be if you do that.
Yeah, that's so good. Thanks for sharing that. I really appreciate it. What's one book you think every dreamer or entrepreneur should read, and why?
Mike Murdoch, 31 Reasons Why People Do Not Receive Their Financial Blessings.
All right.
31. Mike Murdoch is the author. Yeah. 31 Reasons Why People Do Not Receive Their Financial Harvest.
Cool. What's one tool that you think is significant for your business?
One tool significant for my business, I would say text messaging, because that's what we do. Okay. Do a lot of texting.
Cool. What's one habit you find helpful in your life as an entrepreneur?
One habit that's helpful in my life as an entrepreneur, persistency. Okay. Persistency will get you there. Consistency will keep you there.
Oh, cool. Cool. How do you start and finish your day?
Power of intention. That's the way I start my day. Because there's so much throughout my day that I don't get a chance to do. But my intent is I'm focused on 75 people making 10 grand a week. And the universe can feel that. So every conversation, every move, every thought, every plot, every scheme, everything is centered around helping 75 people make 10 grand a week.
If you weren't doing what you're doing today, what would you be doing?
If I wasn't doing what I was doing today, what would I be doing?
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, I have no idea.
Okay. That's fair. Our final question for rapid fire questions is, what is one dream you are still wanting to fulfill in your own life?
One dream that I want to fulfill?
Yeah.
I want to give away $1 million a year, every single year minimum, to people that are in need. That's every single year.
That's cool. Before we leave, I want to give you a moment to give us one last thought you want to leave us with today.
My final thought, again, we've been saying it all day long. Mentorship, mentorship, mentorship. Mentorship is wisdom without waiting.
Yeah.
Who is your mentor? You want your life to change? Understand that you don't know everything. Find a mentor, a mentor, a mentor, a mentor. That's the final thought I want to leave everybody with.
Mas, it's been so much fun. I love what you're doing. I love the wisdom and insight you shared. I think you're right on with mentoring and your other 3 steps for success. Thanks for taking time out to share your story. Give us some insight into how we can move forward in our lives as entrepreneurs and as business owners.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Michael. Keep up the good work that you're doing. Again, 100 shows. Wow, that's amazing. Keep it up, man. I'm rooting on you.
Thanks so much. Once again, I want to thank Romacio Fulcher for taking time out to share his story, give us some great insights into the world of entrepreneurship, multi-level marketing, and also the importance of mentoring. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you've enjoyed this episode too. On Thursday, our guest is Milana Lashinsky. Super fun episode. We talk a lot about simplicity and a bunch of other really cool topics. So make sure to check out that episode this Thursday. If you haven't already, we want to connect with you. Make sure you swing on over to jumblethink.com. Check out our contact page. Drop us a note. Check out Idea Camps at jumblethink.com/ideacamps. Also our resource section. And make sure you follow and like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts so that you never miss another episode of the Jumble Think podcast. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you this one last thought. We talked a lot about mentoring in this episode, and Romacio also talked about giving back and how that is fundamental into getting ahead. Winston Churchill said this. He said, "We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give." So today I want to encourage you, take the words of Winston Churchill and also Romacio Fulcher and our conversation, put them to practice in your life. Find that mentor, be that mentor, give back, and you'll see amazing returns happen. Thanks again for tuning in. Until next time, go chase those big ideas and dreams and create the world you want to live in.
Vous êtes une autre personne. Les mères de famille, les enfants, peuvent également prendre un moment revitalisant dans quelques mois, lorsque vous aurez bien saisi la technique et que vous serez maître de votre corps. Vous pourrez vous décontracter même en travaillant.